Hey, boys and girls. I'm super excited today to read you one of my favorite books. It's called Giraffes Can't Dance, and it's about Gerald, the dancing giraffe. Well, not at first. This book was bought for our family by Jerry and Gwen. It says, Finn, be sure to dance with your mommy every day. Giraffes can't dance. Giraffes Can't Dance by Giles Andrade. Illustrated by Guy Parker Reese. Gerald was a tall giraffe whose neck was long and slim, but his knees were awfully crooked and his legs were rather thin. Look at those thin legs Gerald has. He was very good at standing still and munching shoots off trees. But when he tried to run around, he buckled at the knees. Look at him. He's trying to dance and he falls down on his face in a puff of smoke. Now, every year in Africa, they hold the jungle dance, where every single animal turns up to skip and prance. See all those animals? Skipping and prancing. And this year when the day arrived, poor Gerald felt so sad because when it came to dancing, he was really very bad. Gerald was not a good dancer, and all these animals are dancing and having fun. See the hippos and the elephant and those zebras and the lions over here just hanging out. Poor Gerald. Poor Gerald. The warthogs started waltzing and the rhinos rocked and rolled. The lions danced a tango that was elegant and bold. See those warthogs? And boy, those rhinos, they're rocking and rolling. And the lions are dancing the tango with a flower in their mouth? Wow. Dipsy-do? Now the chimps all did the cha-cha with a very Latin feel. And 8 baboons then teamed up for a splendid Scottish reel. See the baboons doing the Scottish reel? And those chimps doing the cha-cha-cha? Do you know how to do a cha-cha-cha? Or a tango? I don't. Now Gerald swallowed bravely as he walked towards the floor, but the lions saw him coming and they soon began to roar. Hey, look at clumsy Gerald, the animals all sneered. Giraffes can't dance, you silly fool. Oh, Gerald, you're so weird. They're not being very nice to Gerald, are they? How do you think that makes Gerald feel when people make fun of him like that? So there's poor Gerald in the middle of the dance floor, and all the animals around him are just laughing, and he probably feels terrible about this because it's not his fault he's not a good dancer. Now Gerald simply froze up. He was rooted to the spot. They're right, he thought, I'm useless. Oh, I feel like such a clot. So he crept off from the dance floor and he started walking home. He'd never felt so sad before, so sad and all alone. There's poor Gerald. He's walking away. Poor Gerald. So then Gerald found a clearing and he looked up at the sky. The moon can be so beautiful, he whispered with a sigh. Excuse me, coughed a cricket, who'd seen Gerald early on, but sometimes when you're different, you just need a different song. there's his friend the cricket. You see the cricket there? Hanging out with Gerald? So the cricket said, "Listen to the swaying grass and listen to the trees. To me, the sweetest music is those branches in the breeze." So imagine that lovely moon is playing just for you. Everything makes music if you really want it to. He's trying to cheer up poor Gerald. I think he's doing a good job. Now with that, the cricket smiled, and he picked up his violin. Then Gerald felt his body do the most amazing thing. His hooves had started shuffling, making circles on the ground. His neck was swaying gently, and his tail was swishing around. Gerald's starting to get into the groove. He threw his legs up sideways, and he swung them everywhere. And then he did a backward somersault, and he leapt up in the air. Look at him. Gerald felt so wonderful. His mouth was open wide. "I'm dancing, yes, I'm dancing. I am dancing," Gerald cried. He's so happy. Gerald is feeling it. Then one by one each animal who'd been there at the dance arrived while Gerald boogied on and watched him quite entranced. They shouted, "It's a miracle! We must be in a dream. Gerald's the best dancer we've ever seen." How did you learn to dance like that? Please, Gerald, tell us how. But Gerald simply twirled around and he finished with a bow. See him bowing there? They're throwing him flowers. Then he raised his head and looked up at the moon and stars above. "We all can dance," he said, "when we find music that we love." And that's the end